Just doing a little care and feeding of my base. I was running low on fuel, and so I'm making some more. I made it. I mixed it. Needs to be adjusted just a skosh, but whatever. And it's cooling off, so that'll be good. So that'll keep us going. And the Stirling engine project is, we're ready for another rip of it. That one, of course, is the world. That pipe is also the world because the machines cooled it down. Oh, look, there's frozen junk in this one. We'll fix that pretty quickly, I think. And I've got 3 canisters now, each with the same, almost exactly the same number of moles. I won't show you. They're almost the same. And it occurred to me, maybe I do know why the performance was the way it was, but let's see. Okay, so we'll turn that guy on again. Never turned him off. He's like, just give me some gas. He's like, just give me some gas. And he's all, let's make some power, baby. We're making power from the exhaust. Still at 780. Get these things cranking till they stabilize a little bit. Still boosting MPA. There, that one's pretty well topped out at 5.64. MPA generating 3.5 kilowatts. Temperature cold side is the exit. It's the temperature of the input versus the temperature of the output. Duh. Alright, very tolerable 3.5. A little bit less because the heat, we got less heat to work with, sure. And a remarkable increase because the cold side is not 266, 290, 266, and 233. The outside is colder, so this one's doing better. This makes sense to me. It makes enough sense to me. And importantly, 5.5, we'll call it 8.75, 9.25 kilowatts just by processing the output from the generator. Now, of course, we can't do that forever, as I've observed, but we can do it anytime the generator's kicking out exhaust. Turn these things on and get even a little bit more power out of the fuel that we pump into it. So then it's just the automation of when that starts. Start this one, wait a second, then this one, and then this one. And when it's time to turn them off in reverse order. And it'll be as good as that tank. But it'll be good, baby. It'll be good. I could make it fancier than what I just described, but it doesn't need to be. All we're doing is making sure we don't waste the energy potential of the exhauster. So that'll be fun to finish, and then it'll be finished, and I can finish something. I did finish one thing. Well, I finished the phase of the one thing. Oops, turn that one off first, not this one, or the pressure will build up. Then that one. Then that one. So we'll check on that a little bit later and see if we get the exact same performance after it sits for a while. It should, but you don't know till you know. I did finish one part of one thing. Observe outside pressure right now, 45 kPa. And when we go into the house, clear the airlock, which I'm getting tired of walking through to the point. 44 kPa. And over time, the decimals will line up quite nicely. The pressure on the inside is the same as the pressure on the outside, which is what we need for the force field. So there's a little bit of doc. There's a quick little video. I don't fully understand it. The force field has two sides, and it's clear it throws heat out, perhaps a lot of heat, out the side with the connectors. So I would want to place it right like that. And then I can enjoy the force field action with the thing on the outside. So it occurred to me not to risk my whole house on a thing I don't really understand, but instead go ahead and build the greenhouse for the wheat. Get that going and control it with the force field until I'm satisfied I know how the force field works. Meanwhile, speaking of satisfied I know how everything works, I was goofing around with this thing and I noticed something. It says it right in the doc. I just didn't understand exactly what it meant. So here is a tray with some soybeans and first a seed. Watch what happens. He pulls the seed, and now the seed's in hand, and then if you do it again, the seed gets pushed off into his sleeve, and now we're getting soybeans. Without moving, get all the soybeans out of the tray, and then take them to the appropriate location. Dump the soybeans, and then just go right back. You didn't have none of this business with what am I going to do with the seeds while I do the other thing. They stay on the arm. So isn't that beautiful? That is going to dramatically improve the situation, and it's going to dramatically simplify the code. And now we're growing soybeans again. So I really do need to take advantage of the capabilities of this thing, but for the moment, all I wanted to do was take an algorithm that I know works and put it over here. And so I built it out, and I copied the code over, and then I started working with it, and eventually discovered it doesn't work because this motherfucking station is 0. And how do we communicate? Things have to get done. He says, I'm going to sit here and wait till you give me a task. And I'll know that you've given me a task because my setting will be not 0. If it's not 0, then we're ready to get busy. So I'm working on it, and I'm like, why isn't it working on this first tray? Well, because it's tray 0. Duh. So then I started writing all this alternate code and shit, and then eventually realized, no. What just beeped? No. The answer, because I ran into the arm. The answer is simply to add another station. And now the beans are on 1 through 4. Now the code must work the way it always did. The way I debugged it. The bean trays 0 through 3 are in positions 1, 2, 3, and 4. And when we say we want to stop everything so we can evaluate it, let's go to tray number 2. Tray number 1. Everything's stopped right now. Go ahead and save that. And then it's just a matter of, gotta get some food before I starve to death. It's just a matter of determining the chute that accepts the seeds and has the seeds are numbers 12 and 11. 12 and 11. And the shit balls are in spot 9. And then the old code distinguished should we or shouldn't we. The new code just says I'm going to dump everything that there is into spot 8. Whether it's for fertilizer, because I think it's for fertilizer, or I think it's for the payday, slot 8. And now there's no good reason why, if these pins are still set correctly, which I believe they are, because I didn't change anything. The handoff chip, yeah, we're going to want that, because we're still going to need to be sure we don't bunk into each other trying to get to the recycle bin or the fertilizer bin. It'll only be that, but it needs to account for that in the grand plan. That'll be the handoff chip. Yes, these chips are right. The code's right. Now we just need a plant with some seeds to get started with, and we'll go. We will go. Oh, what? Tasks line 47. Abort. Actually, it is already aborted. Line 47. What did I go and do now? Ugh. Did I not write it to the right? Chips, trays, tasks. Oh, it's tasks line 47. Mm-hmm. 4% food. Come on, computer, 47. Well, this is the code where we decided which one we wanted to use, and we don't want that anymore. Let me take this off screen for a second so I can properly do a search and replace. We don't even care about is there poop count. Everything goes to the same place. Don't know what that was. Don't know what that was. Now, what was it? Poop stack. Don't look at it. Don't even look at it. The poop stack. And don't calculate it. I already took that part out. So that was all to get the poop count. Okay, and then down here at empty the seeds, after empty the seeds. Empty the seeds says get the seeds from wherever we're working, put them in the seeds in bin, then go on to task 2, which is pick the potato, pick it. if we have one, then we won't go to no spuds. We'll say take it from the spud and then decide, do we want to put it in the grinder or should we put it in the baker? There is no grinder. There is no grind it. Instead, always just pick the thing until there aren't any more and then put it in baker in. Never shit in. Never fertilizer. What is that C? Get rid of it. Simple. Better. Confirm. Export. Let's do it. Let's go. Oh, I gotta go eat. I won't die if we watch this. So we picked the seed. We did not. We still have a test case. We can work. Pick that seed. Just pick it. Put it over here. Come on. Or you could just put it in your sleeve, Mr. Hydroponics bot. Do it. Now come back here and get this and take it to here. Times 5 in a row. And then get back to the main loop. Do those things. I'll just be so happy if it does those things. Alright, so we checked in on the force field project. Fiddled around with the stirlings project. And we worked on the beans for a little bit. And I was looking at, it's all right here. With regard to, I've got three centrifuges to control it in exactly the same way. Or worse, won't go in there. Worse, I've got 10 stackers that are all supposed to behave the same. Watched a little television and wired up some more chutes. The code's all right here. Still working on that soybean. Score. So he's going to pull one more, and then he's going to go get the seed from over there, and he's going to put it here, and we'll be back in business. It's all right here. You push an array of device names. And then you use the stack to get the device name that you want to work with. And then it's a type of this device named that device. Go get the value of whatever it is you want to know. It's not that hard. In my mind, I was making it harder than it is. Oh yeah, get some fertilizer too. If you need fertilizer, do that. And then outside, well, we know how that's going to turn out because it's the same code that we've been testing for a long, long time. Less the part about the fertilizers. Then outside, became a little bit of a mess. This chute is closed. Oops, come on. This chute is closed. So we're not making more fertilizer. We are only taking the winds into the processor so we can take it to the stacker and we can build up a stack of 23 soybean oils. Just needing a tiny bit more code here to marshal the soybean oils one at a time, against the potatoes, which we're going to grow again someday soon, and the steel cans all queued up and ready to rock. And we'll be ready to process canned food with soybean oil in it, which is the task, the condensed milk. So I'm eager to get started again, or I'll say it again, with the traders. I wasn't enjoying by any means, but it also took like 2 minutes getting more pink ice to keep my volatiles tank full, to keep my fuel tank full and cold. Nice, nice. We don't need you anymore, or you. And I'd like to take care of that job, but I've got too many jobs in front of me. I'm almost there, baby. I'm almost there with canned food. Soybeans and potatoes galore. I could turn it on right now, and it would only be a problem. No, I could turn it on right now, but I'd have to follow my initial plan, which is substantially shut down one side when the other side's working, because he needs to walk all the way over here, which means if he's working, then this arm needs to be up here somewhere while he's working, and then when he's not working and we get him back to this part, well, then he gets to use these trays down here. Is that going to be easier to code? Is that going to be easier to debug, I should say, than... I mean, it occurred to me if I had 2 fertilizer chutes and 2... so, you know, if the fertilizer and feed for the potatoes was here, and the fertilizer and feed for the soybeans was here, then they would never cross. It occurred to me that I could do that, but I really am tired of taking the atmosphere out of this fucking house. And it would be required to get another chute out there. I think. Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? That used to have tons of chutes, and I used them up on the ore silos. I'm just thinking, if I place one here, now the corner, no. The only way to get what I just said is to de-atmosphere the greenhouse one more time. Or again, I should say. I keep saying last time, and then I do it again. But then the code would be done, right? There'd be no more debugging of this part of the game, or my mission. I don't know. What do you think I should do? Let me know in your comments. Ha ha ha. By the time anybody bothers watching this, we'll all be down the road. All right, well, I'll think about it and let you know how it turns out later.